Hey, so since Earth Day is this week, we're going to learn about some animals that sometimes we normally don't like, but that they actually are good for us. Today, we're going to hear about bees in this fun story called Give Bees a Chance. In this story, we have one guy, he's trying to convince somebody that bees are really great. Let's see if in the end he believes him. So let's see. Give bees a chance. This is my best buddy Edgar. We love all the same things, like game boards, strawberries, honey, dinosaurs, and of course, bees! Edgar says, except I really don't like bees. Sure you do! Didn't I tell you there are about 25,000 different kinds of bees to love? The squash bee, the mining bee, the southern blueberry bee, the eastern carpenter bee, the leafcutter bee, the wool carpenter bee, the sweet bee, the common bumblebee. There's so many! Well, maybe you might have said that. I don't think Edgar's convinced. And then I told you about the 3 types of honeybees. There's the queens. She's the one who makes all the baby bees. And the workers, they're small, but they don't make bees. And they have stingers. They do everything. They gather nectar, pollen, water, make honey, feed the babies. They build and protect the hive. They make a royal jelly to feed the queen, and so much more. And there's the drones. There's 300 to 500 per hive. They're big males, and they have no stinger. Their job is to find a queen, so that she can have more babies. Now Edgar, he says, "Ah! Get them away from me!" Edgar says, "Whew, thanks. Like I was saying, I don't like bees." "But why not, Edgar?" "Mostly because of their stingers and attached venom sacs, which are the cause of the painful bee stings. That part you told me last week." Last Sunday, Edgar, he got stung by a bee. It says, the super mean bee. And he's crying. Ouch! But that was just one bee. Couldn't you still give bees a chance? Maybe I just need to remind you how weird and cool a honeybee's anatomy is. They have 5 eyes. 3 tiny simple lens eyes called the ocelli, and 2 large compound eyes with thousands of lenses. They have 2 stomachs, honey stomach, or crop, for turning nectar into honey, and the bee stomach for digesting the nectar. And they have 4 wings. They lock together for flying, and then they come apart so that they can put them away real easy. And 6 legs, complete with pollen basket and an area on the hind legs that can store almost 1,000,000 grains of pollen. But Edgar says, ouch, there's still a stinger. Maybe you just need some time to get to know them. Did you know bees were around with the dinosaurs? And even the ancient Egyptians, they had bees. In fact, honey from bees was found in the Egyptian tombs, those pyramids. And it was still edible. And Edgar, he likes honey. He says, "Ooh, honey." Perfect. Maybe you just need some honey. Bees make honey. Why are you telling me all this stuff? Well, of course, so you'll give bees a chance. Once you learn how great they are, you're bound to fall in love with them. Do you think Edgar thinks he's going to fall in love with them? Check out how honey is made. A bee gathers nectar from the flowers. Nectar goes into a special honey stomach called the crop. The contents of the crop are spit up into a new bee's mouth. So they work it in their tummy, they spit it out, and it goes to another bee. The new bee breaks down the sugar in the nectar with her own crop, so it now goes to her tummy. And this process this processed nectar is passed along several more bees. So they all work it in their tummy and then pass it on to another bee, and then work it in their tummy and pass it on to another bee, who each breaks down the nectar in their crops until it becomes honey. Then the honey gets barfed into the honeycomb cell. Oh, it gets barfed into the honeycomb cell and fanned by the bee's wings to evaporate moisture. Lastly, it's sealed with beeswax to keep it safe until it's eaten. Did you just say they barf it? Did you know the bees did that? Just 1 pound of honey takes 2 million flowers and thousands of bees to create. He says, "Ah! Too many bees!" But the wind gently blows them away and scatters them. It looks like I haven't convinced you just yet. Nope, because they're all gonna sting me. Oh well, bees do sting sometimes, but not because they're mean. Stinger stories. Bees only sting to defend themselves. That bird says, "You look delicious," and he says, back off. He's got his stinger ready. Or to avoid getting squished or smashed. In fact, many bees lose their stinger after attacking, so a lot of bees only get to sting 1 time, which is sort of like your hand disappearing if you pinch your sister. Whew, that would be bad. Also, wait, what are you wearing? He says he's wearing bee armor. That's not going to work. It was designed for dragons. I think it can handle bees. Well, there's a kind of armor that beekeepers wear. It looks like this. But it looks a little bit different than this armor. It allows them to collect honey and beeswax without getting stung or startle the bees. White color puts bees at ease. The veil protects the eyes and the neck. Hive boxes with removable frames for bees to build in the honeycombs, and that's what this is. So the beekeeper, he'll come and he'll get this beehive frame filled with honeycomb. And he wears this suit right here that covers his skin because it has gloves and it's a long sleeve. So there's a mask, a hat, and a long suit with gloves and boots. And he goes and he gets these frames out of this box right here. And because of that, we get honey. You know I love honey, but I'd be willing to give it up forever to never see a bee again. I think that's a little bit of a drastic statement, Edgar. Let's see what else we can learn. But giving up bees means giving up so much more than just honey. Some scientists say bees are responsible for 1/3 of the fruits and vegetables we eat. Bees have a big impact on the food chain. You see, in order for plants to grow fruits and vegetables, they need the right ingredients. Part of that is pollen. A major ingredient they need is the pollen, but since flowers can't move, they can't always get pollen from each other. See this little flower? He says, "I want to make a strawberry. Throw me some pollen." And this one, he says, "I don't have any arms." So the bees can help with that. That's where the bees fly in. A bee's fuzzy body catches the pollen from the flowers. When he goes into the flower, it lands on him and gets stuck in his hair. Have you ever seen, my doggy has long hair and he'll get grass and stuff stuck on him. Well, the bees are like that too. They're fuzzy, and when they go into the flower, the pollen gets caught on their fuzzy bottoms, and then they go fly to another one, and it falls off in that flower. But in that flower, more pollen gets stuck on their fuzzy bottoms, and they spread it from flower to flower. They act as pollen delivery service, helping the flowers get the ingredients that they need. A single bee can visit over 1,000 flowers in a day, making bee pollination powers unparalleled, which means without bees, there'd be a lot less yummy stuff to eat. and bees are disappearing in large numbers. Bees actually need our help. Edgar says, "Okay, I take it back. I don't want bees gone. I even sort of want to help them, as long as they don't sting me." Planting a bee-friendly flower is a great way to help the bee pollination. Won't that just attract more bees? Hopefully, yes. But just approach a bee like you would a dog you don't know. Don't get too close, and don't try to touch it. Unless you're a flower, it should lose interest and fly away. And if more people like you give bees a chance, they might just have, well, a chance to make the world a sweeter place. Now, have I told you how much I love bears? I don't think Edgar wants to hear about that. So in this story, we learned that bees help flowers grow because they move the pollen from one place to another as they're trying to get the nectar. Remember, the nectar is that sweet juice on the inside. And when they go wiggle into the flower to try and get that, then they get pollen all over their fuzzy bottoms. And they move it from flower to flower and spread all that pollen. Now, that pollen is what helps other plants grow. And that pollen is what helps some of your favorite fruits and vegetables grow. And without those, then they wouldn't grow at all, and we wouldn't have them to eat. So bees help our plants grow, and they help our fruits and vegetables grow. That way, we can have all kinds of wonderful things to eat, like honey. Because remember, when they get that honey, they swallow it, they turn it around in their tummy, and then they give it to another bee who turns it around in his tummy, and they pass it on until it becomes honey. So they make honey, they spread pollen, and they help plants grow. So bees have all kinds of wonderful jobs they do. Don't forget to do your writing activity about what great things a bee can do.